It's like hay fever. Just taking an antihistamine. Okay. Morning, morning, morning. Oh, it's so hot here. So hot. Just been in Yorkshire for the week. It's been so cold and windy, and it rained briefly, but I've come back here and it's roasting. So I'm ready now. Hello. No. I need some honey. Someone told me recently that honey increases the mucus in the body. So what can you do? You can't win either way. You can't win. No, dude. There's always some new theories, new discovery. You can't get it right. Anyway. Welcome to Sunday morning broadcast. I do these live broadcasts every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. That's UK time. And you watch our YouTube channel, and you can call in or ask questions through my Skype. So it's pretty straightforward, really. I do one-to-one sessions. I have a book on sale in German, Spanish and English and Romanian. I do meetings. And you can see all that on RebekahMaroon.com. These talks that I do are free online, so you can watch for free. I do charge for one-to-one talks. But these are, oh, that's nice. But these are free. But feel free to donate any cash you might have in your wallets or purses or back of the sofa. Not really. It's up to you. Let me get a coffee. So, non-duality. That's better. Hi, Lee. Somebody is there. So what is being spoken about or pointed to can't actually be spoken about. What is being spoken about what is being spoken about is nothing, no thing, something which isn't a thing, something which doesn't exist as form. It doesn't exist. That's what's being spoken about. That which doesn't exist. So it's impossible to speak about it. It's impossible to talk about it, because talking about it is form. Words are form. So to put it into words is form. And it's trying to point to or talk about that which is formless. Form. all the human has to communicate, not all, but we communicate through words, through form. So these forms, these sounds are attempting to point to something beyond them, beyond the form, beyond the words. So these words are pointing to that which is prior, that which these words, these sounds come out of. Nothing. And in human, when that identity or that contraction is there, it can only know it's obsessed and addicted to form, to things. So it's claiming and sucking in all these things, trying to find fulfillment in them, in form, in the things. And so it takes these words, these sounds, this noise as something that it could get something from. It takes these sounds, this noise, as meaningful and as potentially the answer to what it's seeking. It thinks it could be found in these sounds, in this woof 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 woof, this barking, these sounds are being made from this human. It thinks it's meaningful. It's addicted to form. It wants to find fulfillment in form. So all it can do is seek form, seek things. And that's why speakers, I will always say, don't listen to what is being said. It's not about the meaning. Nothing is true. The meaning isn't true. So these words talking about this nothing, this emptiness, this freedom, these words are form. And it's not the words. It's not the words. We're so used to the words meaning something meaningful. and the words being true and accurate and correct, and they're not. They never can be. You won't find freedom in any form. You won't find freedom in thoughts, in words. You won't find it in that. That's not what's being spoken about or pointed to. You can find intellectual clarity in listening to talks or meanings and speaking, and you can find clarity in them. That is nice to have some kind of clarity, but that isn't freedom. That really isn't freedom. That's just a prison. It's still prison. It feels better having a clarity, understanding non-duality. It feels better in some way, but it's not freedom. It's not freedom. The joy you see in speakers, the love you see in speakers isn't about they've understood something. It really isn't about that. Stress enough, it's not about understanding this subject. The joy and the love you see is this instance, this freedom, regardless of the appearance, regardless of the forms appearing, regardless of the mood, regardless of the understanding or not understanding. There's this freedom here, this instant freedom that's available, always freedom. That's the joy, that's the freedom, that's the love. It just is. It just is. The reason why the human suffers is because there's something there attaching to forms. There's something there claiming, holding on to forms, whether it be objects, or whether it, physical objects, or whether it be thoughts and ideas. Those things aren't the problem. The form isn't the problem. The thoughts, the emotion, the ideas, they aren't the problem. Something attaches to them. Something owns them, knows them, has them, claims them, sees them, feels them. That's the suffering. A position of a someone observing everything else, knowing everything else, seeing everything else. So what is being spoken about here is a boundless freedom. A boundless freedom. And it isn't anybody's, it's just free. It just is. It's the entitlement of every human. Every human. It's unconditional love. It's freedom. It's what this is. Boundless freedom. Nothing appearing as everything. I think that's it. So, if you have any questions, then you can. if you want something, admit it. You want something. What do you want? I can't hear questions appearing on here, so I have to keep checking with the live chat. I can hear it on Skype. I can't hear it on the live chat. I often stammer on k sounds. The contentment that you seek isn't found in the flow, isn't found in the movement. It isn't found in that stream. It isn't found in that. It isn't found in the appearances. They appear and disappear, never attainable in form. Form will not complete you. It can't. You are complete. Completement? What's the word? You are completeness. You are complete. You are complete. You are whole. You are nothing and everything simultaneously. That seeker who feels incomplete, who feels it can find something in the movement, in form. It's just not true. It's not the experience of this. That is an appearance. That's an experience. A movement. That isn't the one speaking. That isn't the one listening. When that seeker dissolves, when that seeker isn't appearing, looking for something, then then there's everything. If the seeker reappears and wants something, wants a particular thing, particular form. Oops. Lee sent a picture of me. Look how cool you look. Oh, that's funny. How did you do that? Oh, you must have done a screen shot. Is it a screen? Oh, funny. got no questions today. Ooh, no questions. This is it. I went to a children's party yesterday. Children's party. It's so weird to have kids. It's really bizarre. I went to a children's party yesterday, and just found it really interesting. Like all the children, some of the parents are like worrying, oh, my child's too quiet, isn't very social. My child's too active, too noisy, boisterous, and all these different parental concerns parents have, and problems they have, and all this sort of stuff. And then the children are just like the children are wicked. The children are just like, it's just some are singing, some are quiet eating the sandwiches, and some are like running around and just like being what they are. And it's not that they're being what they are, it's just that there's just the body's just being what it is. It's just responding and being what it is, and it's just so wicked. I love it. I love it. Free. They haven't yet taken on, oh, I'm too quiet, or I'm too loud, or they haven't yet taken that on as a personal thing. They're just being what they are. Cool. And when they interact as well, they don't care about making friends and having, especially the young ones, they don't really care about having a friend. They just talk to each other, and then they go, and there's not that sense of, I've got a new friend, or I'm going to keep this person. It's just have that. It's just so amazing. So beautiful. They don't need anything or anyone. They're just this is just happening. This is just happening. It isn't personal. Oh, a question. Hi, Mika. I'm going to say Mika. Hello, Rebekah. Could you say something about free? About freedom, maybe? About freedom. We can't speak about freedom. Oh, sorry. I mean free will. Free will, okay. Free will. Free will. Well, free will belongs to someone. It belongs to someone. There's something that has that independent yeah. So there's something that exists. First of all, it exists, and with that sense of I exist comes that sense of I then have free will to do something or not do something. I have this autonomy and this choice to move, because I'm someone who exists and I'm something separate from everything else. So I'm someone, and there's a world out there and there's others out there. I'm someone here. I have that option to navigate and move in this. So it belongs, free will belongs to that sense of someone that exists. So what happens in, I'll say this body, is there'll be a picking up the glass, and there could also be a thought saying, I couldn't pick up the glass now. Or it could just happen without the thought. It could just happen. That happens. Or a thought could say, should I do that or not? And then it could be done, or it could be not done. But it doesn't happen to anyone anymore. There isn't a sense of I'm someone in here thinking that thought or doing that action. It's just happening. It just happens. So free will belongs to that separate entity that feels it exists. And then with that feeling comes, I have free will and choice, and the option to do or not to do. To be someone separate to have free will. You'd have to be something separate. This is Hennessy. I feel as though I exist. How could this not be so? Yeah. To that position who feels it exists. Of course it exists. To that person, it feels, I exist, I'm here, I'm real. Of course I exist. So I'm not telling you, I'm saying there isn't anybody who exists. I'm kind of not talking to that fake entity who feels that it can't take that on. You can try to, but what's being pointed out is that is an illusion. It's not. It feels as if I exist, I am true, I am real. How dare you say I don't exist? But that's an illusion. It's not true. That's an appearance appearing. Give the impression that there really is somebody in the body existing. It's not true. It's not true. It's not a reality. It appears in the human. It appears in the human. And with that appearance, they'll be seeking to end that appearance, to end the separation. They'll be seeking in form for something, for it to feel better about being separate. But what's being spoken about in this message is nothing that seeming person has or claims will fulfill it and make it feel complete and feel better. Temporarily, you can get forms and feel temporarily better, happier, a bit more peaceful. You can improve the situation in ways, in therapy, in getting more things, in having a healthier body or whatever. It can improve. But what I'm talking about is freedom, not a temporary hit or a temporary high from getting something. Total freedom from that whole dynamic, that suffering, getting and losing dynamic. Total freedom. And it's unconditional love. This is God. This is God. It was never some being or entity somewhere. It was never a form. This is the lover. It's never been a form or a person. It never wavers. I feel real. Yeah. It seems like that, but it's not true. In that sense of someone, they'll just be or music or interacting with maybe the baby or a child. They'll be just be that appearing or laughing, or the moments where there isn't that sense of someone looking or someone being there. But when that someone appears, it feels as if it's always been there. I've always been the observer. I've always been present. It's not true. It's not true. It gives that impression because it has the ability, the memory of the brain that puts together all these seemingly previous into a continuous flow. It's not true. It's not true at all. But it feels like that. What's being pointed to is this, well, instance. This instance is freedom. This is the freedom. Right here, right now, there's freedom beyond that you in time, beyond the appearance of time and you and your problems. There is this freedom, boundless freedom. Always, always. Whether that seeming you is there or not, there is just freedom, always. It's just that when that seeming you, so that's a good phrase, seeming you, seemingly you, that seeming entity is there, it gives the impression that that is real, a real experience. It feels so real. When listening to these non-duality talks or being in these meetings, that seeming you is chipped away, that illusory you seems to be chipped away. And what's revealed isn't something far away. What's revealed is this instance, this freedom, which has always been the case, always. When you say not true, what do you mean? Like, not true, like, it's not true. What do I mean? Not true. Like, true, and also not true. True is like, we think things are true. We think meaning is true. Like, we think, for example, we think this is actually a glass. We think that name, that sound, glass, that we use in English to describe this form, we think the word glass, sound glass, is what this is. Rather than a sound we've made up to give to this form, for ease of communication, it has to be that glass to help us to communicate. We've begun to think that sound, that made up sound, glass, is. So it's not true. So I mean that it's not true. It's just sound, a meaning we've made up. It's not the reality. The reality is this, not the sound glass. Like, if I say this is it, that's not true. This is it. I can't. The language is like, this is it, but not as the words, but as the reality. This is it. This is it. This is it. But we get lost in the sounds, in the words. It's just pointing to this. Not the word this, but this. So nothing in that way is true. Nothing is true. Is he writing more? Has he finished? We don't know. We have to wait and see. I can sit here and wait. I don't know. Okay, there's more. See, there's more. We don't know. So he says, my feeling of me is a construct of my brain. And that's all I know. But even that, how do you know that? Is that true then? So you think that's now true? That sentence is now a truth? And it can't be. It can't be true. There's something wrong with it. It's not true. It means nothing. We're so addicted to meaning. It doesn't mean anything. It's just thoughts and ideas. And they aren't wrong. They're just not meaningful. They're not true. And it won't lead you to freedom. The freedom is right here, beyond the thoughts and ideas. It feels as if thoughts are going to lead you somewhere. We follow thoughts to lead us somewhere in thought land. It doesn't. It's within that same wheel. This is the freedom. And out of it comes everything. Comes the thoughts, comes the ideas, comes the words, comes the glass, comes the sitting, comes the hand rubbing. This is the freedom. Nothing and everything. You won't find it in the thought stream or the meaning stream. That's why it's so instantly free. Always, always this, always this, always. You never lose freedom because it always is. It's all that is. I feel I'm caught in a different universe to you. But that you and me, you're imagining, are both not true. They're both, you're imagining you, you're imagining me. Who is this you? Who is this me? This is total love, radical love, like radical freedom, radical. From that prison of meaning and time. Like it's too much freedom. We're so used to the prison. We're so used to the prison of me. The addiction to me, the addiction to thought, the addiction to meaning, the addiction to time. This is it. This is it. It's so raw. This is it. This is it. You can bring all your stuff. Bring it all. Bring it all. All your ideas and thoughts and fears. Bring it all. This doesn't care. Unconditional love. Thanks for your question, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I think it's really a nice ending. I'm back next Sunday, as usual, at 10:30 a.m. UK time. So you can call in then. So, thank you. Bye.